The Republican primary for the new 23rd Congressional District is getting crowded as Two on Your Side has confirmed another candidate is entering the race. Good evening, I'm Mary Alice Demler.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Levin. Multiple sources have confirmed that New York State Republican Committee Chairman Nick Langworthy is entering the race. Two on Your Side's Nate Benson is in the Information Center for us tonight with how this showdown might play out. Good evening, Nate.
Scott, Mary Alice, a lot of surprise amongst top-ranking Republicans I've spoken to tonight. The two biggest questions are how will Chairman Langworthy help elect Republicans across the state if he's running for Congress, and who will get that Trump endorsement, Langworthy or Carl Palladino?
In the days since Congressman Chris Jacobs announced he won't be running for the new 23rd Congressional District because of the backlash over his views on gun control, former Buffalo School Board member and gubernatorial candidate Carl Palladino announced his candidacy. And Two on Your Side can now confirm that New York State Republican Party Chairman Nick Langworthy is also running. Palladino is a longtime public figure of Republican and conservative politics. Nick Langworthy has spent much of his career leading the Republican machine from behind the scenes. Both were early supporters of President Trump and, depending on whose version of history you believe, convinced him to run for president. The former president's endorsement will be critical to this race, according to political insiders.
Trump won the district by 18% in 2020. So he's going to have some influence over the voters, the Republican voters in that district.
It's going to be interesting to see what Trump does because he's close to both Nick and Carl. He's got loyalties to both of them. So that alone will be a story if he has to choose between favorites.
The last time Carl Palladino ran for a major political position was in 2010 when he ran for governor. At the time, he carried all the counties that now encompass the new 23rd Congressional District, which in our viewing area is parts of Erie County and the entirety of Allegheny, Cattaraugus, and Chautauqua. One thing that complicates the process for Nick Langworthy is that he's the current chairman of the state Republican Party. And a source with knowledge tells Two on Your Side that Langworthy plans to maintain his chairmanship at the state level while running for office, which some Republicans have said has created a chaotic situation within the party.
Yeah, it is unprecedented and surprising in a lot of ways. Most people who knew Nick or know Nick always felt that Nick was the organizational side of politics, the campaign manager, strategist type person. To use an analogy of a horse race, he never showed interest in being the horse in the race. He always wanted to be the jockey.
There's also a third Republican candidate, Dr. Richard Moon, and a Democratic Party candidate, Max Delapia. Two on Your Side did reach out to the three Republican candidates for this story, and only Dr. Moon was available.
You know, Mr. Palladino, as far as the existing races, I appreciate what he's done for Buffalo. Taking out the tolls was great, working for that. But again, he's committed to Buffalo. He's not committed to Allegheny County or Chemung County or Cattaraugus County. And Mr. Langworthy's got a job to do getting Mr. Zeldin elected. So I don't even know why he's, sacrificing that. If he wanted to be in this race, he should have declared a year ago when I did.
I've been around politics for 50 years as a participant or observer. I've never seen a party leader run for a major office.
If he loses, then he's got his chairman's hat back on, in the forefront, and he's back to running a gubernatorial campaign. If he wins, that's a whole nother issue in terms of how he juggles those two roles as candidate for Congress in a general fall election and state chair in a year where you're running a gubernatorial candidate.
And shortly before we went on air, Carl Palladino tweeted what appears to be a new photo of himself with former President Trump, seemingly indicating there is support from the president for Carl. The Republican primary is set for the 23rd District on August 23rd. In the Information Center, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.